Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. Trying to play through where I'm focusing on the dupe's perspective. What do the dupes want in their base rather than myself as a player? So last episode we built a barracks, a latrine. We've got an oxygen production system, a pitcher pump. Things have gotten a little bit different from what the way I would have played things. So the dupes are awake. They had to sleep an extra hour because, well, they chose to work until everything was complete. They're starting off cleaning up a little bit of the food poisoning. They do not want to get sick. Who would? Can't blame them there. But what they want to do next is research a little bit about this world. They've got these blasters. They've got these cleaning equipment. They've got builders. So they see one of the things they can build is a research station. And they're getting smart. They realize this consumes power just like the oxygen diffuser. But they want to build it next to some place that has some light. So they want to take down the ration box and, of course, create a wire that connects the research station to where they can produce a little bit of power. Charm puts the finishing touches on a research station, complete with chalkboard, Bunsen burner, I believe, and places for storage and papers. So the thought is, why don't we put a door in front of this room just to make it less distracting? But I guess we're short some metal ore, so we'll dig that out over there. After another door is in place, they decide, how about we have two research stations, both on each side of the lamp. So they go collect some copper ore and bring that over. Well, another research station is being built. They decided to open it up. It's going to improve the oxygen flow in here. And let's put in a second wash basin so we can all wash our hands when we leave this room. With two research stations and a power generation area, the dupes look at all the things that they can research. There's basic farming for food production, more power regulation options, employment, maybe they can get a water cooler, medicine, liquid, gases, and interior decor. They get together to try to make a decision of what to do. So I had to think about what I would do if I was here. What is going to be the research focus from the dupe's perspective? Looking at oxygen, it's decent coverage around here. We still have Oxylite, ability to produce our own oxygen. Washroom over here. And I'm thinking the top thing is the fact that it's dark. We've got a light source here, and that's nice because that actually completes the laboratory, enhancing research production, but it's dark everywhere else. It's probably fine with the cots, but if I'm on an exercise machine, or in particular outhouses, if I'm going camping, one of the things I hate doing is if I wake up at night and need to use the washroom, even with a flashlight, I don't even like it that much. I'm thinking a light source so we can see a little bit further away from just the printing pod. So let's go put that in and wait for that to complete. So the research stations consume dirt. So the dupes are going to have to find some dirt on base and throw it in there. I guess the answer to building new things using a new builder is in the dirt, and if we do some analysis, we're going to get new technology. With enough dirt loaded in the research stations, we've got Dash and Flex doing some analysis on the dirt to see what they can discover, so we can try to build a light source on our own using our new builder. That's consuming power from the battery. Eventually we're going to have charm over here on the manual generator. Research has been complete. We're able to build a light source. So that light source, ceiling light, we're going to put one here in the manual generator. So whoever's going to do some exercise over there is going to have a source for that. We're going to put two of these guys in. Let's see, put one here. Put one right here, and we'll need a power. for that. We're going to go just along the floor and up like this. So now that the dupes have new technology, they don't do any more research until they've actually completed the building of that. So now they've got a light source. So in the latrine over here, the dupes can actually see when they're in here. And it's going to be the same thing for the manual generator. Now, when the dupes want to turn the lights off, they have to yank the cord apart when they leave. Yank a live wire apart when we walk away? Are you serious? Yeah, that's what they do for the time being anyways. So dupes start digging a path down behind the latrine. They build a door just in case there's any random critters in the dark that won't be able to get in our room while we're using the washroom. Why don't we now do some research? And the next priority is going to be based on food. So we handled oxygen, feeling a little bit better having an oxygen diffuser and some algae, but we were given a certain amount of food here, and we found a few pieces of muck root. It's terrible stuff. I would very much, at this point as a dupe, like to focus on food production so that we know we're not going to starve. Final thing for today, the schedule is going to change. I'm going to want more downtime than typical dupes would have at this point. We need 3 hours, a little bit of time to recharge. We've been working hard, building a lot. At least 3 hours is going to be ours to enjoy socializing and relaxing at the end of each cycle. So here it is. We've got a latrine and outhouses where we have lights. Oh, so much better and comfortable when you can actually see. So the dupes then find some food. They've got the ability to wash over the hands. 3 stations, so we're never going to have a wash basin that's not available to one of them, assuming they're all filled with water. Then, when they can consume food, they've got a place to socialize. They just sit in the lavatory. There's a light source in there anyways. And don't forget, when you leave this area, Dash, to literally cut the live wire as you're walking away so you don't waste power. After a bit of chit-chat, dupes decide they're getting a little bit tired, and then they head off to their cots for another cycle on this random asteroid. While the dupes are sleeping, let me just give you my thoughts on how this has gone different versus my playthrough, given the fact that I'm going after the dupes' perspective of what they want to do. First, the laboratory. I don't actually normally build a laboratory using the printing pot. It's kind of a nice idea because you can do research right away, getting the research bonus. Normally, I research a ceiling light and build a laboratory. That's mostly because I plan to put it to the side. From the dupe's perspective, they're not going to be thinking, oh, let's wait until we carve out the spot where we want it to aesthetically be from my perspective. No, they're thinking, I want to figure some research out right away. There's a light source right here. It makes absolute sense to build a research station. You're not going to want to do calculations and any of that type of stuff without some light. And it makes sense to build some doors. That way you've got no distraction when you're in here. The next change is the light source. I normally don't bother putting the light source in the manual generator at all. And latrine, I normally do this eventually, only after I get automation to turn lights off. But now that I have to look at this from my perspective, if I'm going to be using an outhouse, I want a light as soon as possible. It's also very nice to have a light when you're washing your hands. And if you're going to be in here running, again, I don't want to be running in the dark. So I'm thinking that's a top priority. And then research on food, that makes sense too. I'm going to see a certain amount of calories that are dwindling. Let's research a food source and figure out what we can do. All right, well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and perhaps I'll see you in another episode where I'll continue on to see where the space goes from the dupe's perspective.